Bully 2 has once again been heating up on the internet. Even after all these leaks and rumours that have been going around, there is still no confirmation that this game is actually going to happen. It shouldn't be so much of a surprise though. After all, this game has been out for 10 years and I know a lot of fans have been demanding a sequel ever since they finished the game. I think some of the fans of Bully may be quite concerned because despite the fact how much Bully is a great game and how much we love it, it's still nowhere near as popular as the other Rockstar titles, Grand Theft Auto or Red Dead Redemption. Perhaps making Rockstar think that those are the two franchises that need to be supported and revisited from time to time to keep the majority of their fan base happy. However, with the knowledge that GTA 6 is in early development, Red Dead Redemption 2 coming out at the end of this year, and GTA 5 continuously getting online support, there is, as it says in this article, a fourth team of Rockstar working on an unannounced project. Now obviously we have no idea what this project could be. I think the majority of fans would have liked it to be Bully 2, but it could be anything from maybe Max Payne 4 to maybe a completely new IP, to even maybe a game that Rockstar cancelled a while ago and want to revive it. And with Bully 2 perhaps still being very much a fantasy for the fans, for reasons such as like the company who originally made the original Bully was shut down in 2010 and now have been split into separate Rockstar development teams. However, it still seems that Rockstar see the passion and potential that Bully 2 could have. With interviews with the developers of the original game, many quoted that they had very good ideas for the sequel. And when these kind of things like leaks and rumours really start to heat up online, despite the fact we know that there's no confirmation yet, it still makes us look back on the original game and just reminds us as why it was so special. So in this video, I'm going to be giving you guys 5 reasons why I think Bully stands out over the other Rockstar titles such as GTA and Red Dead Redemption. Number 1. The story.
Feeding time at the zoo.
For those who haven't played Bully, just know this. You are not a bully, and the objective of the game is not to pick on the lonely, weak, autistic kids. You stand up to the bullies, and when the story begins, the school is very divided between the preps, the nerds, the greasers, and the jocks, and one very big cunt. And your job is pretty much to unite them and bring them all together. The outsider, Gary, who plans to quote-unquote take over the school, and you, the main character, seem to be the only person who sees the potential that he has to do that. The rest of the school seem quite oblivious and don't really seem to pay much attention to him, which leads me on to Gary. Gary is a great villain for the game. I think what makes him such a good villain is that he never tries to hide anything. He's always hiding behind the scenes, and his attitude is so bad that you want to actually just scream out at the TV and say bad things to him. And the way he speaks is so smug and sarcastic, and the way he treats your best friend Pete, oh fucking hell, I'm gonna smash the fucking window! In the opening hour of the game, you see what you're going to be in for. You're introduced to the school, the students, and the teachers. So right from the get-go, you know exactly what you're going to be in for the whole game. You can get this sense of feeling that you're going to be in for some tough times throughout the story. Unlike in Red Dead Redemption and GTA, you always do the missions on short notice. Number 2. Relatable atmosphere and characters. The relatable atmosphere is one of the reasons I think Bully stands out. The way the open world and characters represent themselves is nothing short of how they would in real life. The characters are what you get. It's almost as if you can guess the personalities they might have just by looking at them. For example, the nerds. I think any person would have looked at them and thought, yeah, they would have high voices and insults that only 5-year-olds would find funny.
Poopy pants!
And I think for everyone who plays the game, there will be one of the characters in the diverse range of them that seems to mention someone that you may have encountered in your life. From people such as the crazy PE teacher who has like a dirty mindset behind the scenes, to Zoe, who's the desperate girl who always wants attention, all the way to someone like Russell, who is, well, Russell. As for the main character you play, Jimmy, he always seems to be that kind of kid like us. He wants to do what's right, but he never comes across as like the kid who like high fives and stuff like that. He's a mature kid. It's almost like the game is like a love letter to anyone who's been in high school or even currently in high school. On the other hand, GTA and Red Dead, while they still have very great and interesting characters throughout the whole games, they never seem to be able to separate themselves. They all seem to kind of have that same type of personality, and the amount we can relate to is not much at all. I mean, who could ever dream of having a nice mansion like Michael DeSanta did in GTA 5? And if there's anyone in the comments who comes along and says he does, then you have my permission to go hell on him.
Stop firing rockets at my house!
Number 3. You're not untouchable. Now in GTA in particular, you always have those moments where you kind of want to just do whatever you want. Perhaps that would be to shoot up a building, drive over some people. Simply, what I'm trying to say is go Just Cause style and get away from the cops in a matter of minutes. Pretty much letting you know that you have the freedom to do whatever you want. In Bully, whilst you can cause some minor destruction, I say minor because it's nothing big like blowing up buildings. It's basically just either disturbing peace of people or just giving them a quick smack. With that said though, it's not that easy to get away from the prefixes, who are the police, essentially. The prefixes cannot be beaten by you. The only thing you can do is run, and it isn't easy all the time. For example, you're going to have to play smart to get away from them. One wrong turn and you could be in trouble. And if they do happen to catch you, you're put in detention and could be served a punishment such as either lawn mowing or snow shuffling. All of this combines making the game feel more grounded in reality and lets you know that you don't own the place as much. You have to stick by the rules a lot of the time. Number 4. The variety of missions. The Bully story missions seem to be packed with so much more variety in the story. Whilst a lot of them seemed a lot shorter than the standard GTA and Red Dead missions, they happen to have no type of trend whilst playing a mission. In GTA and Red Dead, you can always kind of guess when there is a mission that's kind of like the last one you played perhaps 10 missions ago. In Bully, the missions could be from anywhere such as like helping the English teacher hide his alcohol problems, taking photos for a homeless Santa Claus, egg some rich kid's house, perform a musical for the school pageant, or pulling some pranks on people on Halloween. Speaking of Halloween, the seasons actually change as you progress through the game, making you feel almost like you and the game belong in the same world. It once again delivers on that more realistic and gritty experience, but by far the best thing about the activities and missions in Bully were the school lessons. One thing that you must understand about an open world game is that if you want to make a good open world game, one of the things you must get right about it is that you have to make it feel alive. And I think Bully having school lessons that you can participate in is a great example of making it feel alive. You had spelling words out of 6 letters for English, dissecting animals in biology, and QTE events for chemistry and music. Each of these subjects had 5 lessons, so they did get more challenging as you progressed through them. They were so related to the subjects that you could perhaps question your intelligence and how well you did in them. And if Bully 2 ends up happening, that is one of the things I cannot wait to see how they do it. They could add much more deeper progression into the school missions and add more variety, not just having like the same type of lesson objective. They could give us certain other things to do that are still related to the subject. And number 5, the one thing I don't think that needs much explanation is the music. The soundtrack in Bully, I could say in one word, is chill. It was absolutely perfect for the setting, and it seemed to fit perfectly in all the types of sections you had in the game, whether you were just wandering around, being chased, or getting into a fight. For Rockstar, in terms of the soundtrack, Bully is the best they've ever done. But what about you guys? You let me know in the comments of why Bully was such a good game for you, and tell me, how could they do this in Bully 2? With everything I've just mentioned in this video, only with the current hardware of gaming development, it would just seem like it would be stupid not to make a sequel. And given the fact that we perhaps would know that Jimmy Hopkins and the Bulworth Academy perhaps won't play a part in Bully 2, is that a big deal? Not to me. I'd be happy for a new character. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Speak to y'all soon. Take care of yourselves.